Oh my goodness, what a game last night for the New York Knicks, escaping an overtime thrilling victory over the Atlanta Hawks by 1 point. Karl-Anthony Towns, back-to-back 40-point games. He is absolutely on another level right now as the Knicks head into the All-Star game. I want to share my thoughts of last night's game, and I also want to hear your thoughts in the comments of the Knicks' victory over the Atlanta Hawks right now, folks. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get straight into business because last night's game was way too stressful. All right, we wanted to close that game out in regulation, but the Knicks turned the ball over. KAT turned the ball over in the inbound pass, which really turned the whole thing and spiraled out of control, which forced overtime. But then we got Jalen Brunson, the captain, getting the game winner, because if he missed that shot, folks, the Knicks would have lost that game. And then Dieng had a wide open shot for three to win the game at the end of overtime at the buzzer, and he missed it, hit the front of the rim. Luckily for the Knicks, they escape with a 1 point overtime thrilling victory, a high-scoring game. But we have to talk about KAT, bro. That's going to be the main topic of this game, because if there was one thing I was worried about, and I know Knicks fans have been worried about the last few weeks, is that Karl-Anthony Towns has lost his magic after that injury that he suffered to his finger. Oh, it's back, folks. It is back in action. The last two games, we are seeing Karl-Anthony Towns dropping back-to-back 40-point matchups, which, by the way, is the first time in his NBA career, all right? He went nuclear in that game, hit like 3 or 4 straight three-point shots, and this is what we're seeing from a guy that, when he was in Minnesota, Karl-Anthony Towns was a stretch 4, really just was more of a perimeter threat, didn't really go down low. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns is embracing the big man, right? He is going to the paint, being physical down low, defending as best as he possibly could, which I like. I love the effort. Of course, his defensive ability is not top tier, but I love his effort on that side of the ball. But when it comes to the offense, bro, he's backing people down low, getting second chance rebounds, dunking on people, contested shots, and one down low, flexing on people, hitting the perimeter shots, pulling up from like 4 or 5 feet beyond the arc and cashing it. You're seeing something special here. Look at Karl-Anthony Towns, that shot right there. This is crazy stuff we're witnessing from KAT, and the Knicks are on another level right here if he can continue playing at this caliber, especially with OG coming back after the All-Star break, especially with Mitchell Robinson potentially coming back in the month of March, hopefully heading into the playoffs. This is what we have to talk about here, because the Knicks are completely a different animal when KAT is playing like this. And that's what makes this Knicks team so dangerous. That's what makes them so fun, so exciting. It's because they have so many players on this team that you never know who's going to step up and be the guy that night. And it was KAT's game last night, even though Jalen Brunson deserves a lot of love after he started off the game red hot in the first quarter. Then he came back down to earth a little bit, but then he was the one that got the Knicks the W in the end by getting that clutch mid-range shot. And that's what's so fun about this Knicks team is, they have a closer, and his name is JB. And the ability for Jalen Brunson to go out there down by 1 point, 24 seconds left in overtime, and just trusting our captain to go ISO and just completely size up the defender, step back, pull up mid-range in his face, and gets the game-winning shot. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. 36 points for JB and 8 assists for Jalen Brunson last night. And you got to give love to Precious Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa, 26 points in 42 minutes of action, 12 of 16 from the field. He is filling in for OG Anunoby as best as you could possibly imagine in Precious Achiuwa. 2 blocks and a steal for Precious Achiuwa. This is something that I did not know he was going to be able to do as an offensive player. Precious putting up 26 points. Josh Hart doing his usual double-double, 18 and 10. Mikal Bridges only 11 points, but that's really what makes this team so good. He played 42 minutes, but Mikal Bridges was impacting this team on the defensive side of the floor, only took 8 shots. It's not like Mikal Bridges was off last night. He just wasn't getting the ball, didn't really shoot the ball a lot, only had 8 shot attempts, 2 blocks and 2 steals. But the one thing from last night is the bench unit really did not have an impact. 15 minutes of Cameron Payne off the bench, 10 points. He did have some big-time minutes in that second half, which helped out this Knicks team a lot. Landry Shamet had some minutes. And then I feel like what we're going to see as the All-Star break continues, and we're going to be playing, who we got after the All-Star break. We got Chicago, and then in Cleveland, and then in Boston. So we are on the road against the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference in back-to-back games. We got Chicago at home, which that should be a dub. The Chicago Bulls are completely, falling apart after that trade they made. And then we're in Cleveland and in Boston. That's going to be a huge test for the Knicks coming out of the All-Star break, which I'm very, very excited about. The Knicks are 36-18, and if you're a Knicks fan, man, and I told you by the All-Star break, the Knicks are 36-18. Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns are both All-Stars that are starters, by the way. You should be excited because I feel like the Knicks are proven to the NBA world that we have two superstars that can go back and forth, that can absolutely take over a game. And KAT is not just playing like good basketball. I mean, we're seeing historic stuff here. I mean, you know how rare it is to have a big man that's doing what he's doing, especially as a New York Knick, right? So shout out to KAT, shout out to JB, and shout out to the Knicks for able to deal with adversity, right? Whenever they feel like they get punched in the face and everyone's doubting them, they go back out there and do the damn thing, which is getting that W last night. And it wasn't a pretty game, right? We want the Knicks to be able to close the game in regulation. We got flashes of, the Knicks the last few years when for some reason they just collapse in the last 60 seconds in regulation, but they were able to get the job done. Even though the Hawks started off overtime with 5 straight points, we're down by 5. Everyone's like, are we really going to let this game slide and let Trae Young come into the Garden and beat us again? No, not the case. They're able to get the job done. Kudos to KAT. Kudos to the entire Knicks organization for that win last night. I know it was not pretty, not at all. Giving up 41 points to the Hawks in the third quarter, that's inexcusable. We got to be able to play some defense there. But at the end of the day, a win is a win, and we are entering into the All-Star break. So we got a whole week of no Knicks basketball. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Wanted to make a video about our beloved New York Knicks getting that 1-point thrilling victory over the Atlanta Hawks. Don't forget to subscribe. And KAT, we love you, bro. 44 points, 7 threes last night. Oh, it's a joy. It's a joy to watch that man play ball at this level, folks. I'll see you guys in the next video, and let's go Knicks. Peace out, folks.